Good afternoon and welcome to OmniBros Live, Coffee with OmniBros on a Sunday. I'm Omnidog from Omnidog's Vault, joined as usual with my co-host from Comics Guide 101, Lou. Lou, how's it going?
Hey now.
Hey now. And all the way from Sweden, our guest, who I spent a few minutes with trying to learn to say his first name, and I couldn't do it. My dumb American tongue could not figure it out. So we're going to call him Jay just because it's easier, but tell everybody how you say your first name.
Hello. My name is Joakim. You might know me as Joakim Comic Center. And there is no problem with having... It's okay. You can call me Jay for tonight.
Jay? Okay, thank you. So, and then we have from Gabe Infinity Watch. Gabe, how's it going?
I'm doing good, Jess. I think I have to go on record to say I like your American tongue. Take that any way you want.
I will take it as a compliment. So thank you very much, I think. So we have to talk first about InStockTrades.com, our fabulous sponsor, where you can get up to 2% off. And I already blew it. Where you can get up to 50% off your collected editions. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. Today is the last day of the OmniBros code, OmniBros Live code, which is an extra 3%. Doesn't stack with the 2%, but it gives you 3% off everything. And that code is what, Gabe?
That code is Conan Hype.
Conan Hype.
Conan
will get
Hype.
you 3% off, and I think that's hilarious. Order $50 or more in the United States, and you get free shipping, fabulous customer service, and fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. Okay, so Jay, tell us a little bit about yourself and what it's like collecting comics in Sweden. Do you have how do you get your books? Are there comics? I'm just going to come to this from a perspective of, so I visited Sweden and stayed there for a month, but that was way long ago, back in after college, and I wasn't looking for comic books. Do you have a wide variety of comic book stores at all?
Not as wide as the American comic book shops. Not at all. I think I visited 2 or 3 in my time when visiting Stockholm. We have 2 local comic shops. There's one near my small village town. Just we have kilometers here, so my 4 miles isn't your 4 miles.
Oh, okay.
I just remembered. But fairly local, just a half an hour away here for me to get my comics. But then it also differs from comic shop to comic shop. I think there's 5 existent in Sweden, actually, as I know. There's 2 in Stockholm, 1 in Linköping, where I go and get my comics, 1 in Gothenburg, and 1 in Växjö. Yeah.
And I noticed your latest haul video, you actually got stuff from InStock Trades. Is that right?
Yes, I do order from InStock Trades.
And the savings is enough so that the shipping charge makes it worthwhile for you, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. So, of course, if I don't buy enough books so that the discount is less than the shipping, then of course it's not worth it. But most time it is. I buy most of the books, like you guys, Omnibus and everything. You save just $50 or $65 on just 1 Omnibus. And the shipping actually does reach about between $60 and $80 each time. So for those of you who didn't know that and are ordering from America International, that's about the point where it reaches for me, at least. And then, of course, I don't have to charge for any toll or anything. That's happened 3 times. And I've made 84 orders from InStock Trades.
Oh, this is customs?
customs. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, 3-4 times I've had to pay to get out my package from the delivery service. Otherwise, pretty smooth. Otherwise, of course, it takes a longer time to arrive than in US. I mean, you have to wait maybe 3 or 4 days, depending on if it's all new books and everything. And
Wait, 3 or 4 days you get your books?
No. I was asking you guys.
Oh, yeah.
It depends on where you are in the country. It takes me about a week to get mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about a week for me.
Okay, that's nice. The fastest they have... It is. The fastest they have arrived to my place is 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay, that's not bad for international shipping.
The longest it has taken is, I think, 5 months.
Oh, wow.
5 months?
Yeah, but it got lost somewhere in a gray room in the postal service office. I don't know.
Gray room.
And then
Wow.
suddenly my packages has arrived. Oh, these books. Damn, I bought these at a Swedish comic book shop now because they never arrived.
Oh.
Oh no, that sucks.
Well, I sold those then again, so it's fine.
That's the way to do it, man. Yeah, flip that stuff. But you're saying that it costs about like $60 to $80 to get these things shipped out to you in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, with my orders, I think the least you have to buy in shipping is about 30 or 35 just for one book. It's starting off from $30 to $35 from the start, so you can't get any lower than that.
So you really got to stock up on these. How heavy are these packages?
They're in the metric system, so
Yeah, and I don't know if they print it in the metric system or the other. But I think, assuming it's pound or what's your system now again? Now I'm just forgetting words.
I think ours is just called the stupid American system.
pounds. We do stuff in
Pounds,
pounds
yeah.
and ounces.
So one of my packages was 18 pounds.
Mm.
And that had maybe 4 omnibus and 1 absolute or something like stupid like that. So I tried to make bigger orders and order less often, just to make it all worth for that shipping and the waiting, I guess. But really, the wait, the usual wait is 4 or 5 weeks, and it's no problem because you have stuff to read at home already most of the time. And that has been the case for the last 3 or 4 years, at least for me.
Yeah, I wish somehow we could get that on the Omnibus Collectors page. That you have to wait 5 weeks for your books, and it's no big deal to you when everybody else is all wound up about it taking more than a week to get to them in the U.S. while you're patiently waiting for your books.
After paying $80 in shipping, we're trying to get it for free.
Right.
I see all of those posts, and I'm just nodding my head, and yeah, I don't feel sad for you. no, but really, it's all perspective and everything. Of course, if the service was close to me, it would be another thing. If you discovered this great place with this kind of discount and want to be a part of it and everything, so it's all a matter of perspective.
Mm.
So I don't raise my voice about that.
Well, especially since you were saying there's very limited comic book stores out there, so you probably wouldn't be able to find any of these omnibuses and hardcovers out there anyways.
I found some gems out there at one local one. Yeah, the Electro first print before the reprint went out and everything. Some X-Men books in omnibus format. I think there's a untouched Strangers in Paradise omnibus collection at my local comic shop.
Well, in omnibus form, the
paperback format, I think.
Oh, the paperback form. Okay.
Yeah, but still, that's still rare, I think.
I heard
I think
you
that's out of
jump
print.
on that.
Yeah, I do.
What did you say?
I said Jess was thinking it was going to be the super crazy big whale, and I heard it in his voice. He was ready to jump on that and be like,
I haven't, but I was going to say
how
you
much
should
to
jump
ship
on it.
to the US?
Yeah, right. So you're a young guy. When did you first get into comics?
I guess when I was 8 or 9, reading Swedish comic books. But the superhero comic books was way later. Just having read some reprints of Spider-Man in Swedish when I was younger. But at the age of 10 and 11, you really just look at pictures?
Yeah.
So
I do that at 40.
True, I do that too. But rediscovering comic books and actually wanting to read American issues and read them month to month, that came when I was around 20. So that's 6 or 7 years now, almost 7 years now.
And Terry is saying in the chat that he loves your channel, watched your 2-hour December collection video, over 900 books, probably 3 times he's watched it.
Wow.
That's a dedicated fan.
Yeah, thank you very much. Oh my, I didn't want to make, it's just, it's more books, but it's just as long as last graphic novel update. So I'm pretty proud of that, but it wasn't a 3-hour long video.
Yeah, I cut mine in when I did my collection video a couple of years ago. I cut it into 4 parts.
Yeah, the reason I didn't cut it was because then most of the people would only watch part 1, unless I maybe cut it in between companies like DC, Marvel, or Indie. But I was afraid that people wasn't gonna watch the other parts, so I just assembled it all into one, and then people can come back to it, getting more views and everything, and people will know where they ended most of the time.
So what's your favorite? What do you consider your personal? What's your favorite personal? Do you have a whale in your collection that is? I'm having trouble talking. Do you have a personal whale in your collection that's your favorite?
My last whale I sold.
Oh.
It was the Infinite Crisis Omnibus.
So
I was one of those, staying up, finding it on eBay, seeing where it ended. Okay, it's in the middle of the night. Fine, I'll set my alarm clock, go up in the middle of the night, make a way too huge of a bid, and won it. And yeah, here we are.
What time do you? What's the time difference over there?
It's 6:15 p.m. here right now.
16 p.m.
Yes, so about 6 hours after your time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, let's see here. Now, 3 or 4 years later, we get a Infinite Crisis reprint, as it should be.
Yeah, I think there's probably a few people that are in the same boat that did something like that.
That was a totally unexpected reprint. I remember when that happened. That was just totally out of nowhere. And I kind of felt bad for the folks who, I know, like the week before the announcement of the reprint, dropped like $300-400 for that book, and then it got reprinted on them. But that's the way it goes sometimes, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Do you have what whales or books that you don't have in your collection that you're kind of like actively hunting for, or you wish you had right now?
I'm actually not actively hunting for anything right now. I just buy the new stuff.
That's smart. You don't have to get caught up in any of the hype or the stress or the obsession with the constant hunt. I guess that's good.
I think it's because I've already done all that. I'm settled with what I got. I've found the last whales that I actually found was I think the last straw was actually a year ago when I found all in one lot. I found the Witchblade and the Darkness compendiums, volumes 1 and 2 of each series in hardcover format.
Ooh, those are hard to find here. You found those in Sweden?
Yes, from the same seller, private one on Facebook. So we have some Facebook groups and everything that we check sometimes. I mostly sell on those pages now, more rather than buying. But then again, I'm not actively searching for anything. So that filters out all of that.
So you're actually satisfied with your collection?
Yes.
Wow, good for you.
Of course, there's still things that I'm interested in buying. I actually made this change recently with I have lists of everything. I have lists of books to read and what I've read, just to get everything read. And one of the lists is, of course, what is coming out. And I used to have the title standing graphic novels to buy. That's the title. But then I rethink that, and it sounds so harsh. I think now, looking at it, you need to buy this. That's not right. These are books with titles that interests me. So I changed it to books that interests me. And then I've had the title and the date where it's supposed to come out. And I check that daily and go through it. And some days I just pick one title out. I'm not interested in getting that anymore.
That sounds like a healthy attitude to me.
And just in time, your perspective changes or anything if you want to know more about a character, but then you get the new solicits and everything, maybe something gets back on there. But still trying to filter through, what do I really want to read about? Do I really want to read the next arc? Did I enjoy the last one? Rebirth or from DC or anything like that. And then there are some principal buys that you just buy this because I bought the other 4 volumes. Why should I quit now? And I kind of enjoyed it. It's not the right kind of thinking for me, at least, because, as I said, shipping and everything, that's money, that too. So you need to be conservative about what you want to read. That's my opinion.
I think that's a lesson that a lot of people in the group could learn.
I agree.
A lot of people just dive into the deep end and just get stuck there.
Yeah, of course. I don't follow as many comic book YouTubers just because of this reason. Also, just don't get affected to give into the hype. Because if the right person speaks about good enough about a book, maybe I'll get into it also.
Yeah, I did the follow-up to budgeting in comic books with Lewis yesterday. And one of the people that watched the video said, the best way I can budget is by unsubscribing to your channel, Jess, because you make me want to buy everything you talk about. And so I said, well, no, wait, don't unsubscribe. I need my subscribers.
Yeah, I saw a comment here right now from Joe Latore. Hope it's okay to say your name. I know you also collected statues. Do you feel the same way with your statue collection? He asks. So I just want to answer that. And yeah, definitely. I'm actually not collecting statues anymore. I'm way satisfied with what I got. I got 2 sideshow pieces, 2 DC statues. It is the Huntress and the recently announced Batwoman sideshow premium format.
Oh, the Batwoman's beautiful. I have a couple of those in the store.
Yeah,
I love it.
It was really good.
Yeah, good pick.
Yeah, really happy with it. I actually decided I ordered those at the same time, and one of those was directly shipped here, and the other one was a let's see here, pre-order. And that's actually one of the lessons that I had to get this year. You should not pre-order. That is just assuming that you have the finances when it actually does come out. That was a hard lesson for me, actually.
Oh, so you're talking about from a budgeting perspective?
Yeah, much so. But I was from the beginning. I said to myself that I was not gonna buy crazy statues. I mean, the more statues you have, the more attention gets taken away from each piece. So instead, just having one or two pieces to get the attention that they deserve. And I mean, Batwoman and Hunters, I was thinking kind of rebel Batman girls, because they don't follow the rules, not in their first iterations, at least, or some of them. So I display Batwoman with her guns and everything, with this exclusive. And I mean, Huntress, she's also known to go against the rules of Batman. So I was thinking that's the concept, and that's what I'll have.
So you have a theme.
Yeah. So if I would dwindle off into maybe a Marvel character, it wouldn't fit in or anything, then I wouldn't be satisfied with that. So I settled for the theme at first, and then stuck to it. So that's my long answer.
So you mentioned that you have a list of books that you're interested in. Like, what's a couple of the top of that list that you're most interested in that's coming out down the road?
Yeah, I'll just check what's coming out. I think I have about 30 books this year that are solicited that I know about and have the dates for. But of course, the dates
cancel them. Am I right? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that was sad. The Hush Omnibus. Let's see here. We'll talk about the big books, I guess.
Sure.
So Ben Ryley Omnibus already out there, getting that. I'm one of those. And
whatever you like is whatever you like.
Saga? There's nothing wrong with that. I need
nothing wrong with that. Anything you like is what you like. No apology necessary.
And well, Spider-Man is one of those characters that I almost have every Amazing Spider-Man issue collected in some format. It's definitely the character that I've read the most of the main title of. We have the Omnibus, Volume 2, which I really want to be Volume 3 because I think they would touch the Rick Remender stuff then.
That would be great. I would love a Rick Remender omnibus of that Venom run he did.
I would buy just Volume 3 if I just knew that it had the Rick Remender stuff, I think.
Yeah, that's some of the better stuff for sure.
Yeah. Wonder Woman by Phil Jimenez. I checked out his artwork. He's the artist on Crisis on Infinite Earths, and love that. So, checking out his Wonder Woman. And He-Man Masters of the Universe. That's more of a blind buy, but it interests me.
Did you watch the cartoon and stuff as a youth?
I watched the... Is it 90s or 2000s He-Man series? They did a modernization of it.
2000s, I think.
Yeah, that's a great series.
It was really good.
I actually want to find that on just some kind of hard copy because it looks cool.
I actually have it on DVD, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know how readily available it is in Sweden or whatnot, but yeah.
Yeah, region, and here's Region 2 also, so I can't buy a Region 1 CD and hope that'll work over here.
Yeah, that sucks.
So it's always that. When the Batman animated series got solicited for a Blu-ray release in the US, I was hoping so much for a Region 2 release, and we got that. Thank God.
Nice. Do
Oh,
you guys
good.
have like? Are you able to get like a region-free like Blu-ray player or anything?
Yeah,
like that
of course,
out there?
I can buy that. I can buy that.
Yeah.
Bit more money, but I was also thinking if I buy that, that'll only affect me to buy even more because
It's gonna
now nothing is unreachable for me to view. So
Yeah,
it's
no, I hear you,
kind of a
yeah.
defensive standpoint.
And do you have a community at all of like-minded comic collectors around you, or are you kind of like me, where I'm the only one around here that collects comics, and so I look to the social media for friends to share the medium with?
Well, I'm the only one in my town that I know of.
Okay.
But I did find other Swedish comic book collectors through YouTube.
Hmm.
2 of 3 of them, all of them have YouTube channels, but 2 of them aren't active anymore. One of which is Matthias Lava. That would be Matthew Lava, if you would not use the American name for it. One is Daniel Comics, or Danos Comics, I mean. He's active on YouTube. So it would be cool for people to check out his channel. Sorry. Am I allowed to plug channels?
Oh, do whatever
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's fun.
Then Danos Comics. Go check him out. He is the friend that I've stayed at every year when it comes to Comic-Con and all of the sci-fi fairs that I've been filming on my channel.
It's cool.
So he's a very good friend and very open-hearted, giving me a place to stay for 2 or 3 days when I'm up in Stockholm.
Oh, that's nice. And you met him through the internet.
Yeah.
Cool.
First time I met him was at Comic-Con. And the same with Matthew. And I also met Miriam. You know her as Schizo Cookie.
Oh, yeah. I know
She hasn't
Schizo
made-
Cookie.
She hasn't made a video for over a year now also, and she was so popular. Seeing her subscriber count and views and everything, I was so jealous. Still am. And she's a really nice girl also.
Do you know why she stopped making videos?
No, I don't really.
Hmm.
But
So
I
you
still
said
talk to her.
You
I'm
still
sorry,
talk
you
to her?
met some people in at a Comic-Con. You guys have comic conventions out there?
Yes, we have. Yeah, and
Yeah?
yes, I do still talk to all of them daily. And yeah, we have a Swedish Comic-Con event at Stockholm each year in the autumn or fall. And it's around October, November. And there's also the sci-fi fair, Sci-Fi World, it's called. And that's usually 1 month after the Comic-Con. And yeah, we of course have normal Swedish book fair also, but I haven't visited that because it's more novels and such. So nothing that really draws me to that. I do read novels, but not enough for me to want to go to a regular book convention. It's the truth.
Yeah. How far of a travel is that to those conventions? Is it a long drive or?
I take the train up to Stockholm. Take 1 bus and 1 train, and then there's a tramp just to get to a right location within the city.
Okay.
I mean,
so this is not too far.
Stockholm holds 1 million of the population in Sweden. I mean, and we're 10 million total.
Mm.
So we're basically the same amount of people that would take up New York City.
Oh, the 10 million?
Yeah, the 10 million. Yeah, that's the population of New York City is the population of Sweden.
So would you say comics, are they popular over there right now?
I mean, once you've found the community, you would say yes. Because now you're only interacting with people that knows about comics, but really regularly, no. I would say not superhero comics. Most of the Swedish comic books that are printed are mostly humor and social satire.
Hmm.
Reprints of other European comic books, the Phantom, Fantomen, it would be in Swedish, and I follow some titles. The titles wouldn't make any sense to you. Why would I? Elvis the Turtle was my favorite. It ended. I was sad, and mostly because I knew why it had ended. It ended because of a divorce between the creators of a comic book, and they were not subtle about that within the pages of the comic book itself, trying to make jokes about it and everything. But it was just sad reading that last issue. Still holding them on with some of them signed by the creator and everything. That was actually one of my first starstruck moments, meeting a Swedish comic book creator, because otherwise you just think of it as another Swede. But then on conventions, of course, meeting some movie stars, that's a bit more starstruck moment for me. I think, let's see here. I met Toby Bell on last Sci-Fi World Fair. And if you don't know, Tobin Bell, sorry. And he's the actor that plays Jigsaw in the Saw franchise movies.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, he was really nice. And he commented about how nice the landscape was here, that we had so many trees. He had never seen trees so close to an airport before, apparently.
I'd be scared to meet that guy just because he's such a creepy actor.
Yeah, but his acting is something totally different. He doesn't have that crispy kind of voice or anything. It's actually very calm. Yes, a nice little young man. A nice man. Had a nice 1-minute chat with him signing my DVD collection.
Do you get many popular artists and writers to come to the conventions there?
We're getting more. I met Barry Kitson last year.
Mm-hmm.
Had a Batman head sketch from him.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, it really was. And we also had one creator from the Transformers from IDW series. And now I feel bad because I don't remember his name.
That's a great series. I love that Transformers series. That second wave or phase 2 stuff is really good. Those are beautiful hardcovers.
Yeah, but I liked the wave 1 also.
Yeah, that's good stuff too. Yeah, totally.
I think it took good stuff. I mean, they have these little nudges and to the Transformers movie. They take some scenes there and then twist it in some kind of way. Because, oh, wait, I recognize this dialogue and everything, what's happening. And then they twist it in some kind of way, so it's not too clear, I guess, for the story, where it's going.
A lot of good spotlight stuff. Yeah, like the All Hail Megatron was great too, things like that. So.
Yeah. But I love the new ones also. The new stories are, I don't want to say wordy, because it sounds boring, but there's a lot of dialogue. For sure. Within
character development.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, character development. That's what that is.
Just read and learn about your characters. Yeah, but it's good. But we're getting more creators. Let's see here. I think Raphael Albuquerque was there.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, very nice.
So he signed one of my All-Star Batman books. And I think one partner next to him was the inker, also named Albuquerque. Or he was also named Raphael. I feel so bad for this. It's just, there's so many impressions with the Comic-Con. I mean, 3 days of just constantly meeting people, filming, and checking out books and stuff in the convention. There's a lot of impressions to take in And then as soon as I get home, I start to watch all of the 300 clips that I made on my phone, trying to make a decent YouTube video of it. So there's a lot of stuff to take in. So I can't remember all.
No, I get it, man. Those conventions are overwhelming, and it's just so much going on at once, especially for 1 or 2 day shows. That a lot of stuff happens.
Yeah, if I ever was visiting a American Comic-Con convention, you wouldn't find me in the same spot even a second. I would go all over places just filming.
So you really do put a lot of time and effort into your videos. It's obvious to me when I see, excuse me, how much editing you do. You spend quite a bit of time making these videos.
Yeah, I spend about 2 or 3 hours on it.
Does that include recording, editing, all that?
That's a good perspective question. Then I would say it takes about 4 or 5.
That's about the same for me, depending on the video.
So, and I don't do everything in the same day, of course. It's you have to want to do it, because otherwise it's half-hearted, and it wouldn't be presented. It would be presented as half-hearted.
Mm-hmm.
It can really show sometimes on some videos, but then of course the reaction on the video can still be the same, and then I didn't really tried, but no, you get what I mean. And yeah, you want to have the fire burning when you're doing it. You don't want to I need to make that video. I have new books, I need to film that now.
Yeah, you want it to be fun and not like a job or a chore.
Exactly. This is still a hobby channel after 6 years, and it's still gonna be one. Because as soon as it's not a hobby, it's a job, and I already have one.
Right. Yeah, that's why I don't do any editing at all.
Yeah, me neither, man. Mine is all my mistakes and everything like that. It stays in there. I don't care. It's
Right.
all one file for the most part.
I just don't have the patience. I admit it right now.
I just don't want to start, because I know like after a while it's just start obsessing over everything, trying to make things too perfect, and it's almost like one of those things where you try to make something so perfect you end up ruining it even more. So I just throw it up there.
Well, I try to deliver the best that I can with the knowledge that I have for that time. That's as close as to perfect you can get. But
yeah,
that's also a perspective question, because in 2 years I'll look back at those videos, and then I'll see a lot of other stuff that I could have made with that material. But then I would think, yeah, that was perfect for that time with the skills that I got. And that's how I look at my videos that I made 2 years ago from now, with just me talking to the camera, but editing away some of the pauses and such. So it wouldn't make such a long video. Stuttering and whatnot. I just want them to see a video with what I actually want to present.
We have a compliment for you from Travis Gilmer here. Hey guys, I just wanted to jump on real quick and let Jay know how much I enjoy his channel and videos. He has a beautiful collection and look forward to his content.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Now,
trying to get out as much as I can.
Well, you speak English very well, but let me, I have a little bit of knowledge about the Swedish language. You speak English well, but tell the viewers how you say the number 7 in, what's number 7 in Swedish? Where do you guys hear this?
You mean 7?
Yeah. Say it again.
7.
I don't have the technology in my brain to be able to pronounce that. You have no idea how hard that is to say. And I mean, it's just a number to you that you grow up saying, saying as a kid. And
Now, do they teach English in Sweden?
Yes, we're taught English from the age of 7.
Oh, wow.
So,
That's
but
really
small words from the beginning, of course, but we fairly early.
Did they teach you the bad words first?
We take care of that ourselves. So
What about as far as reading and writing? Do they teach you English as well? Like the small stuff?
yeah,
Oh, okay. Cool. Probably makes
I mean-
reading comics easier that way.
yeah, but you're still not reading English novelties or short stories before maybe 12 or 13 years old. I don't know. I'm getting insecure now just thinking back. I mean, 13, 14 years. What did they teach me? I actually think The Simpsons helped me to speak English because when you related the subtitles text to the words that they were speaking. I think TV actually educates us a little more than it should, at least when it comes to that.
yeah, I've heard that before, that cartoons can help people learn to speak English. And that's interesting that you got yours from The Simpsons.
I think it is. I remember I spammed that show a lot when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And then Family came on, and that's where the curse words came in, I guess.
You learn "Eat My Shorts" by Bart Simpson, and then the really bad stuff from Family Guy.
Yeah, right.
So let's do this. This is a question we always like to ask people. What omnibus do you want to be produced if you had all the say so? What would you put out in an omnibus format? Like what storyline or character or whatnot?
You can't pick one.
It's hard, I know.
Can I make the wish for the people and just say Jason Aaron's 4 so we can get that?
Yeah. Say it as much as possible. Let's throw that out into the world as much as possible so it gets done. Because I would absolutely want Jason and Thor. Also.
Can't believe that they haven't already made that.
Is that one of your favorite books that you've read recently?
I haven't read it at all. I want to read it in the omnibus format.
Ah, okay.
You're in for a treat, man. Yeah, you must be really biting at the chomp for that thing right now, because that thing is crazy.
I know of some of the story arcs and how some of them results. Of course, I know that Jane Foster comes in and everything, but still, you can still enjoy it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Are you strictly, for your comic books, is it strictly collected editions, or do you pick up singles as well?
I do pick up single issues, but less and less so. I pick up 3 titles regularly now. That's Batman, Detective Comics, and Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man title. And lately, 3 or 4 months ago, I dropped into variant covers. But now I'm dropping out of variant covers.
That is a black hole.
I think it was a mix between admiration for the artwork on it. Of course, they started to take away the titles and everything, so you just get the clean picture of the artwork. But it was very appealing because then I thought maybe I'll frame this up and hang it up on the wall and everything. I never did, because I don't need to remind myself that I'm a comic book fan and that I love Batman. I have enough of that surrounding me, so I don't actually need to hang something up like that. So it's just in the box with every other single issues, and in the box I don't see the cover. So that's why I'm dropping out of variant covers. Still have ordered some, but that's just because I need to order my issues 3 months in advance from my comic shop. So I have to still pick that up, even though I've now gone into a different kind of mindset.
How big is your local shop? It's pretty small.
It's very small. It's the seller Basement, I think it was an old bicycle storage unit.
Oh wow.
So, but it's been a comic book store for over 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they've been there a while.
It's not like the ones you get to see in the US. But it makes it more kind of your own. I mean, only your people know where the comic book shop is. They would never find this in the middle of a town, or it's right on the outside of the shopping malls and everything. And that's nice, just to have your own little hideout where you can just get in there, get your comic books and everything, and maybe roll your eyes over the comic book shelves and everything, see if you can find anything. So that's nice. So you don't have all of these people that don't really belong there or wouldn't find anything interesting for them there. So it's a safe place.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So you don't have people walking in there and, what is this? This is stupid. Something like that.
Yeah.
It happens all the time, trust me.
Let's see. Have you checked? Somebody's asking, has anyone checked out Baby Tooth and Redneck? Both series are awesome. I've read both of those. They're really good. Have you read those? Anybody out there? You guys? Baby Tooth and Redneck? I guess you wouldn't have collected them yet because they're not in omnibus form. Jay?
I haven't read it. No, neither of them. And I haven't heard anything about them. I think I've seen some pictures of Baby Tooth, but it's nothing that interests me personally.
Okay.
I'm almost embarrassed to say that I have not read Baby Teeth or Redneck.
Baby Teeth, that's right.
Oh.
Considering we have Donny Cates in the store on next weekend. So no, I want to. I mean, the Baby Teeth one sounds really good. It's supposed to be like the birth of it's like an Antichrist kind of baby situation, like Rosemary's Baby, I guess. So that sounds interesting. Redneck, I don't know. What is it? Redneck Zombies, if I remember correctly. So I think the XX add whatever to the word zombie kind of craze. It's just kind of is a little lackluster to me, so I kind of avoid anything that's zombie related. Because everything's been zombified these days. You know,
Even Archie.
But that stuff was good though. That was good. That was probably one of the few zombie bandwagon books that was actually really productive for me. Yeah, Terry's right. Baby Tooth, whatever. I'm sorry. Yeah, the hardcover did just come out. I think this weekend, just recently, last couple of weeks, I believe.
That's the one I'm not upgrading. I'm just sticking to the trades on that. So do you not collect oversized hardcovers at all then, or trades at all? Because oversized hardcovers, do you collect those at all, or is it strictly just omnibus things? Because I know the Jason Aaron Thor stuff is out in oversized hardcovers.
Yeah, I buy all the formats. I buy manga books, trade paperbacks, standard size hardcovers, deluxe editions, library editions, and omnibus, and absolutes. But of course, then I have a preferred format, and that's probably omnibus. So the paperbacks is the least of which I have. And as soon as an omnibus is announced, I sell the paperback. That was the deal with Nightfall recently. And Batman Eternal now being announced to get an omnibus. And now I hope they'll print that because I sold the paperbacks.
And where would you sell those in Sweden? Online?
We have a Swedish representation of eBay, which is Tradera.
Okay.
So it's like a sister company of that. And then, of course, you have Facebook. You have Facebook groups with Swedish collectors, so you get a more targeted audience for your own sales. So shipping isn't as much of a problem.
Okay, the chat corrected me. Redneck is vampires. That's right. Either way. There's a question for you in the chat, Jay. What's your favorite Batman run? You seem to be a big Batman fan.
Yeah, the shirt. And the tattoos. But favorite Batman run? Probably the Grant Morrison stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I've reread most of the times. Second to that is Scott Snyder's run that I've reread. But just the Grant Morrison Batman is the first Batman story arc that I ever read. I think
that's
it was
great.
Batman and Son. I think that's what got me into it. And I then bought Batman R.I.P. and then Final Crisis. I read Final Crisis like one of my first 10 DC books.
Oh, no.
I'm so sorry.
No problem. But of course, rereading it, I got it a lot better.
Yeah.
Just knowing previous events and everything, just building up to that point, because there's so much material. But I love the DC material in between 2004 and 11. I think that's the prime DC, actually. Others would say that's the wreck of DC, but I think that depends on what material you've read from that time period. Because, I mean, Jeff Johns was everywhere.
Yeah.
He was on fire during that, yeah.
Those are his Green Lantern days.
Yeah. And I guess before that, his JSA run was amazing, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So I really got heavy into Jeff Johns' books. Read his Flash run and everything. His Hawkman. Those are the lesser titles, I would say. But just trying to fix Hawkman isn't the easiest thing. With his origin and everything.
Oh, yeah, that's a mess.
Because I think they fucked that up. Oh, sorry.
That's all right. You should hear the language these guys use.
Okay, but they... I think the Hawkman creators, when they got a new created team into Hawkman, they started making this thing. And then the editors came in and, no, you're not doing those characters. You're making two new ones. And I think that was messed up the whole thing about the origin. And Jeff Johns is trying to fix that.
There's a question in the chat that I want to keep Terry from making a mistake. I think Terry Askew is asking about Crawl Space by Rick Remender. This is my humble opinion only, just me, but I think it's the weakest thing he's ever written. So I don't know if I were you that you should be spending your hard-earned money on Crawl Space. I would get a couple issues on Comixology or something and read. The very first story arc is really good, but then the rest of it sort of falls off a cliff. So that was, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to, he said he's getting ready to make an IST order right now, and I wanted to stop him from getting that.
Don't forget, use the code Conan Hype on that order too. Save an extra 3%.
Yeah, it's okay, Jess. You didn't interrupt me. I talked so much that I almost forgot the question you were asking me. But it was Batman, Grant Morrison stuff, yeah. And then I got into my very first Scott Snyder book was Batman: The Black Mirror.
Good choice.
That was a great series.
I had no idea what I was getting into. I didn't even. Oh, it's Dick Grayson is Batman, but then I went with it, and between the final issue with the cliffhanger and everything, I just loved it. Actually getting chills by reading it first time. And
So
I think that...
I'm sorry, since that's such an early like Batman, that was early into your Batman reading. You were okay with the Jock art, because I know his art is very unorthodox and is a completely stylized. So that art was okay for you?
Well, since I was so new into the hobby, I didn't know how it should look like.
Okay.
I guess. I mean, of course, having seen reprints of Batman with, I would believe was Neil Adams or Neil Adams-esque style of artwork, I knew the blue and gray suit and everything. But then this was back in 2011 or something, and it could be anything. So I was pretty much open for the artwork that was presented to me. The Francesco Francavilla was closer to a classic style, but then what's special about that is, of course, coloring work, making it's so heavy blacks and like it's sunset lighting. It's all of these purple and orange and blacks on his artwork. It makes you feel very uncomfortable, and it was great for the setting of the Black Mirror story arc with Jim Gordon Jr., which is actually a realistic type of villain.
Yeah, that's another run. Speaking of Scott Snyder's, like especially like his New 52 run, that's another one where I don't get why we don't have an omnibus or a complete oversized collection of that somehow.
But Black Mirror is getting an absolute.
Can't wait for that. I'm getting that for sure.
Yeah, me too.
That's actually one which I have to get, I think.
I still know what to do with my hardcover, because my hardcover is signed and sketched. I can't get rid of it, so I might just have 2 versions of that series on my shelf.
Yeah. Well, I double dip on a lot of things actually, man.
Oh, you do?
At one point, yeah, I do. But at one point, I probably will sell the lesser expensive versions. So that's more of a principle buy when one of those comes out. I mean, I have all the other ones, and I want to show my appreciation for the story arc. And at some points, it's actually a new experience because we get all these unwrapped editions and noir editions. And as a amateur artist, I look at these in an artist's perspective just to see how it affects the artwork. So if you look at maybe the unwrapped version, you can see the pencil strokes or sketch strokes, how they move a pencil and everything. You can see a bit under the hood of how they make up the character and everything, and how it really looks getting sent to the next guy, the inker. So then you have noir books. You can see how just heavy blacks affects the pages. I think the Hellboy books would really get something from that. I mean, those are some of the most heavy blacks that you get. And then, of course, you have the Absolute, where you get it in an oversized format, so you can see more things that you couldn't see before. Then I just have a standard book for travel. I don't know. But you get some, as long as you get something with each edition. And then there's, of course, the extra material that some of them have, which some of them don't. So that's my defense for double dipping.
You don't have to defend anything here.
Hey, Jess, there's a question in the chat for you, and probably for the rest of us. Are you going to get the Swamp Thing Absolute when it comes out?
I have decided that I'm going to stick with the standard size.
Oh, wow.
I know.
What's your thought process on that?
It took me a long time to find those 6 books. And I'm not I know this is heresy, but I'm not a huge fan of the art. I like the art, but it's not something that I want to see necessarily in absolute form. And I think a couple of weeks ago when Ryley and I did our unpopular opinion segment, I think that was my unpopular opinion that I gave, that I was going to stick with the standard size just because I'm not a huge fan of the art.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't own it, if you don't own the Swamp Thing run, then that's a great way to get it. It's a landmark run. That's definitely for sure.
Yeah. It's the best Swamp Thing run that's probably ever been written.
Yeah, I wouldn't even argue that.
I'm going to get the absolute. That'll be my first time reading the majority of that storyline.
Well, that's a great way to do it. Well, we've hit an hour talking to Jay from Sweden. And do we have any more questions? Or Jay, do you have anything left that we didn't touch on that you'd like to put out there for us?
No, this was a good chat. Love to hang out with you guys.
Yeah, it was great having you on.
Thank you.
And
yeah, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you taking the time out of your Sunday night to visit us on the show.
And where can they find you on YouTube?
They can find me at the Joakim Comic Center, and as well as on Instagram with the same name, where I put up pictures of what I'm actually getting way before a video comes up. So if you want to be updated as soon as possible on what comes in, you can check it out on Instagram, Joakim Comic Center, and then the channel with the same name.
Well, that's a good idea to do that on Instagram.
So Jay's YouTube channel is in our description. The link to that is in there. So anybody watching now or rewatching this later, you have direct access to his channel in our description.
Oh, good. Thanks, Gabe.
Totally.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us. This has been great.
Thank you.
And I look forward to talking to you in the future now that we've established a Facebook relationship. Now we can chat whenever the time difference doesn't get in the way.
Yeah, but I'll answer in the middle of the night if I'm awake, so it's no problem. Just write whenever you want. I'll answer whenever I can.
All right, thanks. We're gonna get out.
Have a good day. Awesome.
Thanks a lot.
Have a good day.
Bye.
So are we going to move forward with the news, or are we done for the day? You think it's been an hour? No, Jess has football. Oh no, you don't have football today.
I don't have football today.
Yeah, football next week.
Next week I do.
What's going to happen next week then? Are we on? Is that going to conflict with that?
Oh, the Super Bowl doesn't start.
Thing?
It starts at 6.
Oh, okay.
I'll be getting nervous. I already am nervous, so I don't know how I'm going to comport myself. But that was a good interview. That guy's interesting.
Yeah, man, he's a cool guy, man. That's good. I mean, I watch his videos all the time, but it's nice to kind of have like a actual like inside conversation and be able to bounce questions off the guy. He's cool. He's got a great collection too. He's a big fan of that stuff. So
yeah. I've
nice.
Always liked his videos.
It's super interesting to see somebody who is a big collector, but from a different region of the world, and like the things that they kind of have to go through to get their books, and just a different comic community that's out there. So it was things like that that was really eye-opening. It's really cool to hear that stuff from.
But there isn't
how it is in
connection.
Sweden. All right, so what's up next? Anything? We're out, or do you want to touch on the news real quick or anything? Or I don't know. I'm leaving it up to you guys.
What do you think, Luis?
Was Luis going to I thought, hey, did you want to do your Super Sons today, Luis? Talk about Super Sons?
Yeah, because my schedule is going to be crazy, so I got a few minutes.
Okay. I actually have a minor family emergency that will take. No, yeah, I just have to go do something real quick with my wife that just happened. So go ahead and do Super Sons and the news if you want. I'll be right back.
Let me go grab the book. It's right here.
All right, cool. Everybody's leaving. I'm here by myself. It's the Gabe Show. Let's talk about Cross for the next 25 minutes, everybody. Who likes to cross? No, so All right. Well, how are we going to kill the time on this? I don't know. I just got a buttload of books in yesterday. I had a bunch of store credits at the store. I don't have it with me. It's still in my car because it's so much. But I got the rest of Hellboy library editions, the BPRD, Hell on Earth hardcovers, and almost all the Fables in hardcovers. So I got to find out a place to put all that shit on these shelves. I got to reorganize my shelves and stuff like that as well. But thanks to everybody in chat who joined in for this really cool conversation that we had with Jay. If you're still around, give us a thumbs up. We got 52 dudes or ladies, people. Give us a thumbs up. What's going on? Brian, he's coming to Vegas in April. Right on, dude.
All right. So Super Sons. I mean, we've talked off and on in the chat about this series, Gabe. You kept saying it's been like one of your favorite series from like the past year. I really agree with that. I think this is a fun, great all ages book that you really don't need to have any connection with. Here's the book. You really don't really have to have any connection as far as the DC universe or anything like that. All you need to know is that Batman has a son, Superman has a son, and they team up through certain circumstances. I dug the hell out of this. This is just fun all over the place. I really like the fact that so Tomasi has a way of writing kids. I work with a lot of kids. So Tomasi has a way of writing kids. I don't know if he has kids of his own that just nails what it's like to be a kid and the banter of being a kid. And, you know, you're kind of bullheaded and you react really quickly to things and you call people names and things like. He absolutely nails the dialogue down between Damian and John. He nails it, and I like the fact that it's such a fun back to basic story. Like the first arc involves Kid Amazo, the second arc has like one or two issues that involve the Teen Titans, and there's this whole bit involving aging that I thought was absolutely hilarious with Damian. It's a book that I could give this to most of the students or the kids that I work with, and they will love it. And I could not put this down. It's not even that long. It's like 16, 17 issues, and they flew by. I got to give it up also to Jorge Jimenez. His art in this is great. He really is the standout for me. It's so much so that in the little issues where he's not doing the art and there's a break, I really notice it, and I miss his art a lot.
No, I agree. He definitely knows how to draw these kids, and his stylized version of Damian and John really make this book what it is. And yeah, I agree. When it wasn't him, I was missing his art. I was like, oh, this is great, but I really wish it was Jorge Jimenez back on it.
Yeah. Yeah, is he? I know the series is going on right now through a new name. Is he on art duties for that as well?
I don't think he is.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah,
that's really disappointing.
I have to look. I'm not sure, but
I think one of the best things that I like about this so much is the interaction between John and Damian. Despite the fact that Damian is kind of a little shit to John the whole time, John still gets along with him enough. And that they, through sometimes happenstance, they're able to pull off what they achieve. I also like the fact that John isn't fully powered yet. So he's actually kind of weak compared to his father in a lot of ways. Like he can't fly. He does the whole jumping thing, which echoes how Superman first was when he first appeared on the scene where he couldn't fly. He jumped really high. And you start to see John kind of get more confident, start to develop his abilities more as the series goes on through 16 issues.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get this as a review copy or anything. I bought it because I love it. I just wanted to read it so bad because I heard such good things about it. every issue in this book was a hit.
Yeah.
Every single one. I mean, maybe the winter special not so much because it's more of an anthology issue. So you got like 4 or 5 stories that were about 5 pages each, and those are always hit and miss. But everything else was a complete hit. Every issue, even the Dynamut and Blue Falcon stuff, I had a great time reading.
Have you ever read an anthology series that you thought was pretty good?
Well, that's the thing with anthology. It's always going to be a mixed bag. You're always going to get it's like trail mix or like jelly beans. You're going to find those nasty ones in there that you don't like.
The last one I read that I thought was actually really good was the American Vampire one. I don't know if you read that. Where Snyder brought in like Jason Aaron, Jeff Lemire, a whole bunch of different writers and artists, and each one of those stories was really good.
I want that. I want, but I don't want that American Vampire Omnibus.
How much
looked on that one?
Why don't you want it?
It's just another book on the shelf that's going to take me a while to get around to reading, is all.
Yeah.
The current series for Super Sons is Adventures of Super Sons. The art is Carlo Barberi. It looks like.
How is it?
It's doable. I mean, it's not Jorge Jimenez. I don't mean that in a bad way because nobody can be Jorge Jimenez, but he does. Jorge seems to be doing the covers.
Yeah, because I remember looking at a cover and thinking, "Oh, it's the same artist," and now I found out it's not. I'm like, kind of brings down my expectations for it. But is Peter Tomasi still doing the writing duties of it?
It is Peter Tomasi still, yes.
Okay, well, at least there's that.
So there's that, yeah. I mean, even in this one, in this omnibus, you got like variant covers by John Boy Meyer, and I was like, dude, I would love if John Boy did like a couple of interior issues as well.
Yeah. Can we talk about for a minute just how nice like the actual hardcover is and the design on it? I really dig this a lot.
That's a great design on there, but what I really like too is the inside back cover. Did you notice that little doodle back there?
Yeah. Hold on. Inside back cover.
Yeah. Is it the inside back or the inside front? Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's really good. I like I said, what I like the most is just how well Peter Tomasi is just able to nail down the voice of kids. And I actually, after reading that, I think 2 issues of Teen Titans stuff, it actually made me want to go read the Teen Titans ongoing series that's going on right now, where Damian is the head of the Teen Titans. I was like, wow, that's kind of an interesting dynamic because, like I said, Damian's kind of a dick. So I'm kind of wondering how his interaction is. Who's doing the Teen Titans right now?
I have no idea.
Is it any good? Because Teen Titans has been hit and miss for a while.
I agree with you. It's interesting, to see Damian be in charge. Like, you give this kid who's already a kind of a pretentious little dick, and give him some authority and some actual be in charge of a team. Mm-hmm. So it was fun to see his interactions with that, and I agree. I think it'd be kind of cool to check out the Teen Titans stuff if they ever made it like a nice big hardcover.
It's also really cool to see kind of the dynamic and see how Clark raises his son versus how Bruce raises his son. And you get little moments of that where you see, okay, well, this one's punished this way, but you can't punish Clark the same way that you punish Damian, so they punish him a different way in the story. I think so. Like, for example, Clark's way of being punished is that he has to do all the chores around his house and around the farm, but he can't use his powers. Damian's way of being punished is that he has to stay in at night and he has to do like assignments with Alfred. And it's those little touches that really help flesh out the characters and flesh out the personality of who they are. And like I said, if you are somebody who's on the fence, I really think you guys should owe it to yourself and give this a shot. What's the going price for this right now on IST?
I think it's 42% off a $75 book.
So we're looking at probably in the 50s, late 50s, high 40s, maybe.
I'll have to look it up. I don't know what the IST price is right now.
Yeah, I actually don't either. You get an extra 3% though using the OmniBros code.
That's a fact. Well, one of the things I really liked about this is there's really no prerequisite to pick up this book and enjoy it. It's $43.50 on In Stock Trades right now at 42% off. So you can make it 45 by using Conan hype. So you don't really need to read anything before this to get into it. Again, kind of like what Louis said, all you need to know: Batman has a kid, Superman has a kid, and it's almost like they're regular parents and they're friends, and they bring their kids over with them when they come visit each other. So it's cool because John and Damian don't like one another.
No,
but they have to kind of get along because because dad and dad work together. So you get that aspect. You also get really fun parenting aspects as well, kind of like you were saying. But you get parenting aspects where Bruce and Clark, probably like any parent, they kind of doubt: Am I doing the right thing? Am I raising my son to be a standard? Is he going to be a good part of society? Is he going to bring up the community? Things like that. So you get a lot of that as well. So just because the main characters in this book are kids, it's not just a kid's book. This is definitely a book that, I'm 38 years old and I loved every second of it. I recommend it to children all the time. I recommend it to parents all the time. I think it's a good book for a parent who wants to get their kids into reading comics or reading in general. You can actually read it along and not feel like, oh man, I'm stuck, reading this lame ass story, or you feel like you're stuck watching, Baby Shark for the 30th time on YouTube or anything like that. I think it's a really good time or a really good chance with this book for parents and children to kind of bond over the reading experience.
Yeah, and to answer the question, so it doesn't feel childish at all. I didn't get the vibe that it felt childish. You're dealing with kids, yes, but the vibe that it gave me was more of, if you dig things like Young Justice or the Teen Titans series that I grew up with, this is more along that vibe, only with less of a darker tone.
Right. It's more of a darker tone, but it's not like, it's not scary or it's not, unreadable or anything like that, really.
So I recommend you guys pick this up. If you haven't, I love this series. I plan to keep going, knowing that Tomasi is the writer of the series going forward, even though, like I said, Jorge Menez's art is so fucking good in this. It really is, man. There are some single page shots that are just absolutely gorgeous in this book.
Yeah, no, he's a fun artist. Like again, I say this a lot on these kinds of books, but it's a fun book. Like I had fun reading it. I had fun when they were having fun. Eventually, they get along. They become amicable with one another. They become friendly. And it's fun when they start getting into little goofball situations, or you start seeing them grow as people. You see Damian. To me, this is one of the first times I've read a Damian story where I wasn't completely turned off.
Or you like
Damian's shitty attitude. Yeah.
And
so Teen Titans, I'm looking at Volume 1 on In Stock Trades. It says the writer is Ben Percy. Benjamin Percy, who I'm not sure who is who, but
I'll check it out. And that's my review. You guys should go out and buy this. It's really good. Like, really, really good. And I think, like I said, if anybody who grew up watching the classic Teen Titans cartoons from like the early to mid 2000s, I want to say, this is right up your alley, and you'll dig the hell out of this. It was so much fun.
Cool, man. Good review, man. Awesome. Sorry about your work schedule getting in the way.
It's fine. It's that time of the year where we're starting to get meetings and we're starting to get testing. So it becomes a pain in the ass.
Cool. So I guess we can move on to the news. If you guys are still up for that, we still got people in the chat. So let's.
I have about 10 minutes. I have about 10 minutes.
Okay, just make it quick then. So The links is in the description of all the news articles that we'll touch on briefly, since we want to end this fast. It's been a long episode, but it's fine. We got a great review and we got a great interview. So first up, let's talk about the big news. DC Comics cancels Batman Hush Omnibus. So we just got the announcement that the Batman Hush Omnibus has been canceled. It's been taken off the publishing schedule so far as we know it. And there are no future plans as of yet or yet announced of it being resolicited or not. So we don't really have any inside information. We don't know if it is going to get released or not, but it is pretty shitty. This is one of the few times that I've seen a book get canceled and there be such a big uproar. It's everywhere. Everybody's talking about this book being canceled. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why they did it. That's not the kind of information that they ever really put out, any kind of true reasoning. But we're hoping that maybe it'll just get resolicited down the road. Maybe something came up scheduling wise and they had to kind of make some moves to maybe coincide this with something else, or maybe they're going to change up the content, but who knows? What do you guys think about that?
You are not missing much if you haven't read it. Other than Jim Lee's art, I'm not a fan of Hush. Jim Lee's art and is gorgeous.
Dude, I wanted this with the exclusion of the Jim Lee stuff, because I have Jim Lee Hush in different formats already. I wanted this for all the Paul Dini stuff and all the other Hush storylines that I've never really read before.
Wait, so is this is including all the other stuff?
Yeah, it's the Jeff Loeb, Jim Lee Hush. It's the stuff from Gotham Knights, Detective Comics, Streets of Gotham, and Batman Villain Secret Files. So it's all the other Hush storylines. I think Heart of Hush, and those other ones as well. I hope they just re-solicit this without the Jim Lee stuff. That's what I'm hoping.
See, I've only read the Jeff Loeb, Jim Lee stuff, and like I said, I didn't care for it. I thought it was pretty, but I didn't care for the storyline. I've never read the Paul Dini stuff, so that I am intrigued by.
Is that the Streets of Gotham stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, I think, are those out of print? I think they might be hard to find, which is why this was such a big deal. It was going to be reprinted.
Yeah, it's even the Detective Comics stuff too. The Heart of Hush was Paul Dini too in Detective. So yeah, that sucks, but it happens. It happens a lot with DC. It seems like more than others that I can think of. But yeah. All right, so next big topic. Let's talk about Black Panther. Black Panther has been nominated for Best Picture in the Oscars this year. I don't know if it's going to happen, if they're actually going to win, but what a great thing for this is the first superhero movie to be nominated. Hey, I got to take a phone call real quick, guys. It's from work.
Okay.
So you guys go ahead and talk about Batman or Black Panther.
Well, all right, let me see if I can pull up the news again real quick.
Yeah, Black Panther got nominated for Best Picture. That's crazy. That's I don't think it deserved it, but that's my 2 cents. I thought it was just an okay movie. But hey, congrats to them.
I really enjoyed that movie, and I think it's. I was surprised at the backlash that it got from comic book fans that it got nominated, because I think it's a big deal that a superhero movie, a genre movie, can be nominated like that. I think it's a sign that the industry takes it seriously, and I think that's great for comic book movies in general.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm done.
No, you're good. It was okay at best for me. I think it was nominated more because of the fact of how big of an impact it had in culture. Because it was huge. Like, culturally, it was a huge film. But there were other films this year that I would say were far and away a lot better of a movie than Black Panther was. And I'm actually surprised it got nominated for Best Picture. I think that's great, because it does show that the Academy is loosening the reins a little bit more on genre and things like that. We saw that last year when a movie about a fish fucking a woman was the one that won for Best Picture. I would have never thought that would have won, but I'm happy for Guillermo. But I don't. If it wins, great, but I really don't think it deserves even a Best Picture nom. Now, for costuming, for soundtrack, for all that other stuff, for maybe even special effects, I think it definitely should be considered in that. But overall, Best Picture, when there's so many other great things that came out this year, no, not for me.
Okay.
What's the other movies that got nominated? Do we know off the top of our heads?
Green Book. What else was nominated this past year?
Roma? Was Roma nominated?
Roma, which was boring as shit. Beautiful.
I remember you didn't like it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful movie, but boring as shit.
It's Vice, A Star is Born, Roma, Green Book, The Favorite, Bohemian Rhapsody, Black Klansman, and Black Panther.
See, that Bohemian Rhapsody and Black Panther, I really don't understand how they actually were put in for Best Picture. You want to talk about snubs? We could talk about Hereditary. Toni Collette got fucked over. She should have been nominated for Best Actress. But the Oscars and horror never really made.
Black Panther and Black Klansman were the only movies on this list that I saw.
Black Klansman was so good. I am pulling for Black Klansman just because of the fact that I want to see Spike Lee lose his shit on the stage, because he will.
I'm sure his speech will be monumental.
Yeah, but out of what was that list again?
Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, A Star is Born, and Vice.
Okay, see, out of all those, the only ones that I would agree with that need to be there are Black Klansman, A Star is Born, and there was another one that you said. I just can't remember.
Green Book. You said you like
Green Book. Yeah, those are the only ones that I see that, okay, those actually deserve. The Favorite, I haven't seen it. I know that a lot of people really loved it. I still need to watch it, so I can't say anything about that. But the other ones I have seen, I couldn't make it through 40 minutes of Bohemian Rhapsody because a lot of it is bullshit. And Rami Malek, when he's on stage, he's great. Off stage, he is fighting those fake teeth, and the teeth are kicking his ass every single scene. It looks like they went to a department store and took those fake teeth that you stick on like a kid, and they shoved them in his mouth.
Well, I'm psyched on one bit of news: Lucifer Omnibus.
I never read Lucifer. I had no idea anything about that book at all.
Oh, I lost the Lucifer trade paperbacks in the flood 2 years ago, and so I'm excited to get this back in omnibus form. That's a great book. Lucifer is by Mike Carey. Really good. And the Adam Hughes Absolute art is going to be phenomenal.
This is a collection of his artwork, right?
Yeah. So it's really just a giant art book, which is, of course, right up my alley since I love his art so much.
I know you do.
Yes, you do.
Speaking of art books or covers, Heroes Reborn. The Heroes Reborn Omnibus got a new cover. Because before it was a Carlos Pacheco cover that made no sense because it was really a Heroes Return cover. Actually, let me do this. Let me see if I can screen share real fast so you guys can see how beautiful this art is. Not really. It's actually kind of garbage, but let's get everybody the chance to voice your opinion on this right here. So this is Brett Booth. I'm sorry, I forgot his name for a second. This is Brett Booth's cover for the Heroes Reborn Omnibus, which will probably only be bought by me and like 2 other people.
Wow.
But this is one book I'm glad didn't get canceled, because when they announced this, I sold my trade paperbacks of all this stuff that's in there. So this is this book is going to collect all the Heroes Reborn stuff. This is the era when, right after Onslaught, where some of the Image founding fathers, such as Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld, were hired out by Marvel. So Marvel outsourced their, what we would consider today as like some of their biggest characters. Back then, these characters were floundering, and which is why they outsourced them to the Image founders to get the sales to spike. So this has Captain America, has the Iron Man series, the Fantastic Four series, and the Avengers series. But this is a new cover for it that I think I'm the only person who's excited for. And that's that.
Okay.
The thing doesn't look that bad on it.
That's cool. It's better than, I mean, it's not that it's better, but at least the cover makes sense. That's covered part of the actual Heroes Reborn and not the Heroes Return stuff like it was.
Well,
I think that's it for news, everybody.
Yeah, I kind of need to wrap it up. The emergency is that I'm needed in the kitchen immediately. So we will end this show talking about the fabulous InStockTrades.com, where you can get up to 50% off your collected editions. Loyalty discounts can add 2% to that. This is the last day of the OmniBros code, 3% off. The code word is Conan Hype. Does not stack with the 2%, but with 3% off, you can order a bunch of Hellblazer trade paperbacks, which I did yesterday, the ones that I didn't have. Over $50 in the United States gets you free shipping, fabulous customer service, and fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Great show. Thanks to everybody in the chat for sticking around for the interview, for the news, and for Luis's review of Super Sons Omnibus.
Yeah.
And Gabe, where can they find you on the internet?
Find me on YouTube, Gabe Infinity Watch. You can find me Instagram, Gabe Infinity Watch, and on the Omnibus Collectors Facebook group as well. So I'll see you guys there.
How about you, Luis?
You can find me at Comics Guide 101 on Facebook and Twitter and all that good stuff.
And you can find me, Omnidog, on Omnidog's Vault, and on Instagram, Omnidogs_Vault. Thank you for tuning in. The chat was great today, as Gabe said. Appreciate all your input and participation. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Good night, everybody.
Later, guys.